Hey everybody, happy Monday. Wonderful weather we have outside in the Philadelphia area. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borick, and this is going to be a look ahead to what we hope in Philadelphia is the continuation of the series after the Sixers can beat the Celtics tonight at home. Now, this is going to be a video looking ahead to that and also outlining ways that I think will make it significantly easier to beat the Celtics. I'm going to outline 3 points that I think will help us dearly. So, in order to win this game, we need Brett Brown to not feel as emotionally connected to the fact of Ben Simmons is one of the best in the game, one of the best young guys in the game. We get that. We all understand that. And we all love having him on our team for those very reasons. But if he's not having his game and TJ is, I don't think the best situation is just to go back to Ben just because he's Ben Simmons compared to TJ McConnell, which after I think it was a game 2 loss, he said, if it comes to Ben Simmons, I'm going back to Ben. And I see where he's coming from with that because Ben Simmons is one of the stars, the young rising stars of the league, but they still don't have it all the time either. And it's those tough decisions like Dwayne Casey made of benching DeMar DeRozan that got criticized because they ended up losing that game as well, but he wasn't showing it, he wasn't having it, and that might have even benefited DeMar from an embarrassment standpoint, like they said on First Take today. Stephen A. brought up that point, and I agree with that in a certain aspect. So sometimes you got to make those tough decisions, and Brett has been definitely outcoached by Brad Stevens, which is not necessarily unexpected, and I want to be very clear. I think Brett Brown is a solid coach. I think it's just taking the leap to playoff coaching. You haven't been there and done that yet, except for as an assistant on the Spurs. It's a lot different having the head role. So it's a lot different mentality in the postseason. Brad Stevens has been there and done that. And Brad Stevens is also probably the second best coach in the NBA behind Greg Popovich. And maybe third, you could put Greg, Steve Kerr. It depends where you put. But I would say Brad Stevens is probably in the top 2. And he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's one of the youngest in the league as well. So other coaches are just going to have to figure out how to beat a guy like him that can even find ways to figure out how to make the best lineups without his team at nearly close to full strength. So I think Brett Brown needs to step up tonight and call those tough timeouts, make those tough play calls, make those tough decisions on maybe TJ should play longer. Maybe we need Rashawn in over Amir, or maybe we even need to put Markelle in, who's barely played in the playoffs, like some analysts have been saying for the past week now, to just provide a spark. It's those tough decisions that judges you in the playoffs, that really judge you in the playoffs compared to the regular season that Brett Brown has not been honing in on and banging out this series. And that's a big part of what's going to help us win this game tonight if he can make those really tough playoff coach decisions. Number 2 is, of course, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been held in check. We're actually outscoring the Celtics by, I think, 21, they said, on ESPN when Ben isn't in the game. And they're outscoring us by like 30 when he's in the game. So that shows Ben Simmons has just been destroyed by the Celtics this series, and they're like his juggernaut right now, and we need him to overcome that because even like I said before, if you make the tough decision where TJ's having a great game, we're not going to beat the Celtics just based off TJ having a great game and maybe even putting Markelle in there to provide a spark for a couple minutes if Ben doesn't have it. It's not going to happen. You're going to need everybody like Marco Bellinelli's of the world, to the Ilyasova, to Rocco's, plus Joel to do what he always does, and Redick to do what he always does, have like the best games in order to beat them. Excuse me. If Ben just doesn't have it at all. So he's going to need to really step up today and have a good game. And then obviously there's the other aspect of the fans. We're at home. If we get swept, you're probably going to get booed. There's a very good chance it is not going to be a graceful send-off where you might get clapped at afterwards, maybe for the whole niceness of the season getting to where we're at. But if you lose this game bad, or there's any moments that go awful and were awful decision making or whatever, you will get booed tonight. This is a very tough situation the Sixers have put themselves in, but they have guys that are very tough guys, and they should be able to overcome it. And they have some veterans that should be able to help those guys overcome it. That's one of the main reasons you got Amir Johnson on your team, to be a freaking leader. So it's one of those things you just got to step up. And the third and final thing to help beat the Celtics, which we did better last game, is you got to until the end of the game, you got to defend the perimeter and keep them more into mid-range pull-ups or whatever, because in the first two games, it was like a pee-wee basketball team trying to defend the three at times. So last game was better, but then our defense in other areas did bad and cost us parts of the game by giving up points. So it's just overall we need a good team defense. This team needs to step up on defense. And I think in that aspect, Richaun Holmes is better off to have in the game. Is Richaun Holmes a straight-up rim protector like someone like you might label Nerlens Noel as or whatever? No, not really. He's just a good athletic guy, but he is definitely a better rim protector and gets more blocks than someone like Amir Johnson, where Amir Johnson just brings that other athletic kick-out, better passing ability, better dribbler with the ball ability stuff like many analysts have laid out this postseason. But Richaun gives the other factors that I think we all are coming to realize we kind of need in this series. So I think he should definitely get minutes tonight. And if he doesn't and we lose, that's probably going to be part of what I blame tomorrow in a video. So this is going to be an interesting game for the Sixers. They need their guys to step up strong. They need the coach to make those tough decisions. And I like Brett Brown. I want to end by saying that. I do like him. And I do not want to see us get heavily swept out of the series. I want to see him have some good game. I like what he said in the post game by saying, why not us? Take the why not us mentality. Why can't it be us? That's a good mentality to take. But anyway, this has been Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. This has been a look ahead to the Sixers. The Sixers and Celtics. Have a great night, everyone. Peace.